The storm of global conflict had reached its peak. Across oceans and continents, nations clashed in battles that would shape the world forever. Among them, America, initially distant from the war, found itself thrust into the heart of World War II after the shocking attack on Pearl Harbor. This is the story of courage, sacrifice, and strategy, the journey of the United States through the Second World War. Before America entered the war, life at home was uncertain, yet seemingly peaceful. Citizens went about their daily routines, unaware that global tensions were mounting. Europe was already engulfed in flames, with Germany and Italy advancing through multiple countries. By 1939, Germany had invaded Poland, triggering World War II. Across the Atlantic, Americans watched cautiously, debating whether to join or remain neutral. Meanwhile, the U.S. began preparing its military and economy for the potential of war. In 1941, the United States passed the Lend-Lease Act, supporting allies like Britain and the Soviet Union with supplies, weapons, and equipment. This marked a shift from isolation to active involvement, setting the stage for America's entry into the war. December 7, 1941, an infamous day that would live in history. Japanese forces launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, crippling the U.S. Pacific Fleet and killing thousands. This tragedy pushed America into the war. The day after the attack, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addressed the nation with his famous words, "A date which will live in infamy." America officially declared war on Japan, and shortly after, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States. America transformed overnight. Factories shifted to wartime production. Women joined the workforce in record numbers, and millions of men enlisted. The entire nation became a war machine, ready to support both the European and Pacific fronts. In the Pacific, America faced Japanese forces in key battles such as the Philippines and the Coral Sea. These early encounters tested the nation's military might and resilience. Though losses were significant, the U.S. began learning critical lessons in modern naval warfare. America's first major land engagement in Europe was in North Africa. Troops faced harsh desert conditions while battling German forces under General Rommel. The campaign demonstrated American determination and adaptability in foreign terrain. Following success in North Africa, American forces invaded Italy. The campaign was brutal, with mountainous terrain and heavily fortified enemy positions. Despite hardships, the Allies gradually advanced, weakening Axis control in Europe. Back home, the American people endured rationing, bond campaigns, and shortages, yet morale remained high. The unity of civilians and soldiers alike became a backbone for America's fight overseas. The Allies began planning Operation Overland, the largest amphibious invasion in history. Months of preparation, deception plans, and secret operations set the stage for a turning point in the European War. June 6, 1944, D-Day. Thousands of American, British, and Canadian troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, facing fierce German resistance. The world watched as bravery and chaos unfolded on the shores of France. The invasion relied heavily on air support. American bombers targeted German defenses, paving the way for soldiers on the ground. Precision and sacrifice were critical, as the skies became a battlefield of their own. Despite initial heavy losses, American forces pushed inland. Villages were liberated one by one, and the relentless advance began to weaken German control in Western Europe. In late 1944, Germany launched a surprise counterattack in the Ardennes. Known as the Battle of the Bulge, it was one of the deadliest campaigns for American forces, testing courage, resilience, and leadership under extreme pressure. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the U.S. adopted an island-hopping strategy. Troops targeted key islands to gain strategic positions, moving closer to Japan. Each island was a deadly challenge, with entrenched Japanese defenders and harsh terrain. Battles like Guadalcanal and Midway became turning points in the Pacific. Courageous pilots, sailors, and soldiers changed the course of the war, demonstrating America's growing dominance at sea and in the air. Back in the U.S., technological innovations surged. From tanks to aircraft, radar to code breaking, America's industrial and scientific advancements played a pivotal role in winning the war. American and Allied forces finally captured Rome in June 1944. The victory symbolized the crumbling of Axis power in Europe and boosted Allied morale worldwide. By late 1944 and early 1945, American forces were advancing deep into German territory. Cities were liberated, but fierce resistance remained. The war was nearing its climax, with ultimate victory still uncertain. In early 1945, American forces prepared to cross the Rhine River, Germany's natural defensive barrier. The operation was risky, but success meant a direct path into the heart of Germany. As Allies pushed forward, Germany's defenses crumbled. American forces joined with Soviet troops from the east, signaling the impending collapse of Hitler's regime. Victory in Europe, VE Day, was approaching. Soldiers and civilians alike anticipated the end of fighting in Europe. Letters from home, celebrations, and prayers filled the days leading to victory. May 8, 1945, Victory in Europe Day. Germany officially surrendered, ending years of brutal conflict. American soldiers celebrated, but attention quickly shifted to the Pacific War. One of the bloodiest Pacific battles, Iwo Jima, tested American forces with intense Japanese resistance. Iconic images, like soldiers raising the flag on Mount Suribachi, became symbols of courage. Okinawa was another brutal island battle, with high casualties on both sides. The fight highlighted the challenges of invading Japan directly and influenced America's decision-making. While battles raged, America secretly developed the atomic bomb. The Manhattan Project combined scientific brilliance and military urgency to create a weapon that would change warfare forever. In August 1945, atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forcing Japan to surrender. The devastation was immense, but the bombings effectively ended World War II. Victory over Japan, VJ Day, was declared on August 15, 1945. Celebrations erupted across America, marking the end of the deadliest conflict in human history. Soldiers returned home, forever changed by war. World War II left a profound impact. Millions of lives were lost, cities destroyed, and economies shattered. America emerged as a superpower, but the memory of sacrifice and courage endured. After the war, Europe lay in ruins. America launched the Marshall Plan, providing financial aid to rebuild economies and stabilize nations, ensuring peace and preventing the spread of communism. Millions of American soldiers returned home. They faced the challenge of reintegration, adjusting to civilian life and finding work in a changing post-war economy. Women who worked in factories during the war faced new societal roles. Many returned to traditional duties, but their contribution had forever changed gender roles and expectations in America. American soldiers were celebrated as heroes. Medals, parades, and stories of bravery highlighted individual acts of courage, inspiring future generations. WWII accelerated innovation. Jet engines, radar, advanced aircraft, and early computing emerged, laying foundations for modern technology and military strategy. To seek justice for war crimes, the Nuremberg trials prosecuted Nazi leaders. America played a pivotal role, emphasizing the principles of accountability and international law. America helped establish the United Nations, aiming to prevent future conflicts. Diplomacy became a new front in protecting peace and shaping the post-war world order. As Europe rebuilt, tensions rose between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. The ideological divide between democracy and communism marked the beginning of the Cold War era. The GI Bill provided returning soldiers with education and housing benefits, fueling economic growth and establishing a strong middle class in post-war America. Monuments and memorials were built across America to honor the fallen. The sacrifices of WWII shaped national identity and instilled pride, remembrance, and reflection. The use of atomic bombs in Japan marked the dawn of the nuclear era. America's role in creating and deploying this technology reshaped warfare and global diplomacy forever. With Europe divided and the Soviet threat looming, the United States positioned itself as a global leader. Military alliances like NATO began to take shape, signaling the new era of geopolitical rivalry. America adopted the policy of containing communism. Through diplomacy, economic aid, and military presence, the U.S. aimed to prevent Soviet expansion worldwide. In 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea. America, under the United Nations banner, intervened to halt the communist advance, marking the first major conflict of the Cold War. A daring amphibious assault at Incheon by American forces turned the tide of the Korean War, demonstrating strategic brilliance and determination. Fierce battles continued, but the war reached a stalemate. The 1953 armistice ended active fighting, yet Korea remained divided, highlighting the limits of military power in a global conflict. Post-WWII and Korean War, the U.S. emerged as a dominant global power. Its economic strength, military reach, and technological innovations set the stage for decades of influence. WWII taught America critical lessons in strategy, diplomacy, and industrial mobilization. These lessons influenced future military engagements and national policies. WWII influenced art, literature, and media. Films, books, and paintings captured heroism and tragedy, ensuring the stories of sacrifice would never be forgotten. Across the nation, memorials, monuments, and museums honored those who served. The legacy of WWII shaped American identity and pride, inspiring future generations. WWII pushed aviation technology to new heights. American planes like the B-17 and P-51 Mustang dominated the skies, changing the nature of air combat forever. Aircraft carriers, submarines, and battleships became crucial tools. America's Navy grew stronger and more strategic, ensuring dominance over both the Atlantic and Pacific theaters. American codebreakers played a pivotal role in intercepting enemy communications. Their efforts shortened battles and saved countless lives, highlighting the importance of intelligence. Individual soldiers, sailors, and airmen displayed extraordinary courage. Their stories of bravery, sacrifice, and determination became legendary, inspiring generations. Many Americans became prisoners of war. Their resilience under harsh conditions revealed the human spirit's strength, endurance, and will to survive. America's victory positioned it as a global leader. Diplomacy, trade, and military presence extended across continents, shaping international politics for decades. Returning veterans contributed to America's post-war growth. From building industries to leading innovation, their experiences shaped the nation's progress and culture. Museums, documentaries, and memorials ensured the stories of WWII would not be forgotten. America embraced history to educate and inspire future generations. The cost of war was immense. Millions lost their lives, families were forever changed, and entire cities were destroyed. Yet courage, unity, and determination left a legacy that endured. From Pearl Harbor to the final victory, America's journey through World War II is a testament to courage, resilience, and innovation. Let us remember the sacrifices and celebrate the heroes who shaped history. Subscribe to continue exploring the untold stories of war and valor.